Welcome to the RC Motorsport Europe podcast.
And we're back looking at more track proposals for the 2026 EFRA European Championships from clubs putting their hat in the ring, wanting to host the Euros. These are all going to be voted on at the AGM, the first weekend of November in Brussels. You can have an impact on which of these clubs we're about to look at gets to host. And in this case, we're looking at 1/10th off-road. So that's the two-wheel drive and four-wheel drive classes of 10th off-road buggy. Which of these tracks do you want to host? Watch and find out, and then let your federation know. So who have we got? Let's have a look at the EFRA page. And of course, here is where you can find them all on efra.ws.
Yeah.
And you can see all of the proposals here. This is the first year this has been done. 10th off-road. And who we got up first?
Right. So first up, and these are in alphabetical order. So they're not in any
favoritisement.
Yeah, there's no favoritism or anything like that. The first up is Fairing, a track we are very familiar with. And in previous sections, we've shown the proposal that they have put together. Ignore the weird text there. That's just because it's
I think it's
translated. It's a bit sci-fi. But yeah, it's so it's obviously in Austria. I say obviously because we're, as I said, we're very, very familiar with the Fairing track.
We have been to Fairing, I think, more times than any other track because they've hosted the 1/10th electric off-road Euros before. They've hosted 8th scale nitro off-road Euros before, and they've hosted a whole many large-scale off-road Euros, including the inaugural large-scale off-road Euros that they hosted. But yeah, they are one of the most experienced tracks in one of the most beautiful parts of Europe.
Very much so. Very much so. It's I think my first few years working with RCTV, I think I must have gone there at least once per year.
Yeah, yeah. For one event or
I
another.
literally thought it was like, oh, we're just coming every year at some point.
Yeah, yeah.
So, but yeah, this is the new layout for the Fairing track. See, there's the back house with that's the campground, and this is the normal sort of club layout for the tents and the paddock. But they do put on more marquees and tents there. So you see, this is a slightly more oblique angle view. So there's farmland. It's in the middle of farmland. There's this big like rock crushing gravel facility. It's right next to them. And here's the view from the driver's stand. You're driving away from yourself and then over this huge jump and then into the infield.
Big mix of surfaces,
yeah,
from the block paving to the dirt to the metal bridge.
Yes, metal grating over the bridge,
which is one of our favourite features on any RC track in Europe.
And it's yeah, it's been there for quite a while, but they do have a lot of places, a lot of ways to move the layout of the track. If you look at here, there's this area here. You can see this. It's cut in here. You go this way, but you can also go straight. There's various ways that they can relay out the track every year.
Yeah, and
so
we actually saw they hosted a round of RCGP as well in 2019, and again, amazing hosts, and that the track did give us some fantastic racing.
Yes, very helpful as well. Good guys, and I mean they know what they're doing. You know, the waist high concrete and metal pit.
None of this
lane.
Kneeling down business.
You know, stairs that go only up one way. Even you can see it here. You know, down.
Yeah.
So referee. Big wide area for the rostrum, and then the timekeeping is separate, completely separate.
That's where you'll find the air conditioning.
Yeah. And then we do have this is our media area there for the EFRA media.
They've added to this every year. The media area was just a box with a window, and then they built a frame and a platform, and then they built a platform on the roof, and they just keep going. They just have an idea and they just keep adding to this facility, and that's why it's one of the best. It's absolutely one of the best in Europe.
And here's those extra pit facilities that they have. They have space here for all the race gazebos. These are the permanent paddock area. That's the cafe. Many sets of toilets, which are always very handy in the middle of a racing session. There's the interior of the permanent pit facility. See the exposed wood, which is very common in the Alpine and Bavarian regions. And all the usual stuff. Very nice, well-stocked cafe.
Oh yeah, yeah. We've had many meals in that cafe, and all of them have been fantastic.
What do I usually get? The is it the
I have the
cordon bleu? Yeah, the
cordon bleu.
schnitzel.
Cordon bleu.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, listen to us.
Not that should sway your voting.
No.
It's all about the track, and you make the decisions, not our stomachs.
And there's the Wendler brothers,
Mario and Walter,
and they run the track, and
a fine job they do too. A fine job they do too. It's been quite a few years since 1/10 off-road was run at this facility. 2012 was the last time, and that's what it looked like back then. Fortunately, streaming technology has moved on a little bit, so apologies if it looks a bit dated, but if you're wondering how the smaller buggies get around this large-scale track, pretty well. I mean, it's a long track, and it's dirt, but it's also Astro. In fact, you can see here they've introduced some Astro jumps. I don't know if did they do that just for 10th scale?
I think they did, because you can see when on the wider view that they actually don't go over the huge jump at the end of the straight.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So if you look here, he cuts in there, and there's the continuation.
Oh, they've actually got rid of the... Of course, yeah.
So for large scale and 8th scale, they actually do go over that, and that double jump at the end is now a tabletop. It's been filled in, but this is 10th scale, so it's different surfaces. It's mostly dirt. This section there now is like rubber sheeting, like texture pads that you would have in a kitchen or a warehouse or something like that. And yeah, it's so they do change it every year, and you know, we tend to, like we were saying, we've been there so many times, it feels like very familiar, but the track does change.
Yeah. This particular event, just geeking out a little bit, but it brings back memories, because this is the first time the referee used our video to decide
there.
Just there, yes. Yeah. To decide if...
Was it Ronafalk?
Was it Ronafalk? Well, I think... Well, it was definitely... It was all about cutting the track, wasn't it?
Yeah. At the final corner of the final lap.
And the referee came to look, and it decided the outcome of the European Championships. So that was a big moment for us.
Yeah.
And yeah, this is what it will look like.
Yeah. We had that happen a few times this year,
but actually in HD. So yeah. So that is one of the options that you have. That's fairing.
Yeah. So the next one is Rakvere. I think we're saying that correctly, in Estonia. It's in the north of Estonia, not far from the Baltic Sea.
Yep.
So this is their the minimum strictly required proposal document. So these provides the information.
Essentially, they've filled out a form.
Yeah. So it's not a slick PowerPoint or a proposal deck or anything like that, but the information is there. It's on the EFRA website. But we do have some video here.
Oh, you have some video? No, no, that's not it.
That's not Rakvere.
Why are you playing video?
That's not Rakvere at
Not
all.
Rakvere. I'm playing the video.
Okay, yes.
And
this is the Rakvere.
This is Rakvere. And this is
a wet.
Did you see that? Did you see that?
Yes.
Rooster tails of water. This is after a rainy start to the day for the what is this? This is the Baltic
Championship.
RC Championship 2024. So we can see the track in action. to be I mean, these are 1/8 electric buggies, so you'll be seeing 1/10. But how do you think? What do you think? I think it'll be nice. I think very nice. I mean,
challenging.
Big
track. They could make it smaller if they wanted, because there's so many option lines as well. So that will be quite interesting.
Yeah.
I do love a track with option lines and islands that you can swap in and swap out. But yeah.
Absolutely. So this is the Estonia track. We haven't... I don't know if we've had a Euros in Estonia before, but we certainly haven't been to Estonia to cover the European Championships in the past. So it'd be great to try somewhere new. So far we have had Ferring and Rakvere. We haven't, excuse us, Rakvere, we haven't had a huge amount of information from the club. So we've given you everything we can. We found a clip online to see what the place looks like. I guess that's what we can do. Next, we're up to Spain. So
Silla in Spain. So we had one track that we looked at previously. Autet is in the Valencia area. This is also in the Valencia area.
Okay.
Very close to Autet, actually. So this is their proposal, their pitch deck. So providing some information. There's the club logo. It looks pretty cool, I think.
Yeah.
And there's a very high overhead view of the track. And so they have a huge dirt track.
Yeah.
And then this is the 1/10 track.
Oh, and look, you can see there from the bottom of the track. Is that a massive wall ride?
Yes, there's a huge wall ride there.
Which could also serve as a bit of a ski jump.
Yeah, a launch ramp for the drone or something like that. So yes, this is the current 1/10 circuit.
That's nice.
And they do say that they...
Let's have a look at what they're saying about...
So compacted earth, synthetic padel grass. I mean, they spell it paddle, but it's padel grass, like what is used on padel courts.
Oh, okay.
Basically just short artificial turf, I imagine, because it's padel.
As in Astro.
Yeah.
AstroTurf, basically. Yeah. High grip, medium low, jumps artificial, obviously. Terrain slightly undulating.
So, unevened, unrollered main surface, and then looks like they can move the jumps around fairly easily. And we'll have a close-up look at that. But this is interesting, I thought, this bit here. This is how it started, with mostly dirt and a few AstroTurf bits. And then they went to full AstroTurf.
Very green.
Then very recently, actually earlier this year, they tore it all up, leveled it, and just laid down brand new AstroTurf, it looks like. Yeah, new padel court grass. So padel is basically it's the European version of pickleball, basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
I was actually reading about both of those sports because the Messina track...
That's the kind of thing you do.
Yeah, the Messina track has a padel court right next to it in the gymnasium. But yeah, here's the facilities. Look pretty good. Nice, solid, very solid... because obviously anywhere that does nitro, they tend to have these concrete tables in Europe.
Yeah, very sturdy.
Very large air compressor area.
Is that the toilet facilities? Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Cafe area
with some vending machines. No doubt there will be
espresso machines available.
Yeah. Yes. Ice cream.
Yes.
What's gelato.
Gelato. Well, gelato. Yeah.
It's Italian, but everyone gets involved with a gelato. So what's this?
These are the recent major races that they have put on in 23.
Okay, so experienced in at least national races.
And importantly for EFRA, they hosted the B Euros for 1/8 in 2019.
Okay. So they've done nitro.
This has to be nitro. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, so they know what they're doing.
Yep.
Climate in Valencia, very interesting. I thought this is possibly the most interesting chart I've ever seen in one of these decks.
Okay, so it's going to be in June or July, is it?
So the minimum temperature is 18, 21, 22 in those months, June, July, August. The record temperature a record. That must be record low. 12.
Yeah, so the high is
The
30 something, 29.
Temperature of maxima 27, 29, 30. That's not that
That's
high.
not too bad.
Yeah,
That's all right.
because it's well, not the north of Spain, but the mid north of Spain.
Okay.
So I mean, it's not like Alicante hot. That's what I mean.
Close
Yeah.
to the airport, which
Yeah.
is good.
Accommodation and travel links, tourism information.
What
all
have we
the
got?
all the stuff you can see.
Cathedral,
Yeah, there'll
the
be
beach,
the
marina.
Westworld 4 filming locations. Which is, I think, is the oceanographic something.
Okay.
And then, very importantly,
This is your bit.
this is
Hello.
my specialty right here, the paella. Hello, paella. Hello, shrimp.
This is good.
Jamon. I don't see a page for jamon,
Yeah.
but I'm sure there will be.
We'll mark them down for that.
But yes, that is the proposal from the Scylla Club.
Well, we need to see the track
Yes.
in action. And here we go. So that was that. Hang on a minute.
Oh no!
Let's go again.
It was.
It's a much shorter. It's a
What?
12-second clip.
Oh, okay.
Come on.
Well, there we go. That's what it looks like. There's the big wall. There's the jumps. Brand new pedal court grass. And it looks pretty good. It's a rhythm section there. Rhythm chicane.
Yeah.
Is that the same?
Oh, this is their website.
Ah, okay.
So if you want to find out more, go to rcscylla.es and find out all
Is this a
about
long
them.
one?
Oh, should we have a look at this?
Interviews, races.
This might be a little bit longer.
Yeah, 39 minutes. But we're not going to play the
Okay.
whole thing. Don't worry.
No. So media team on the ground doing interviews, lots and lots of interviews. Let's get some track action because that's what we really care about at this point. Do you want to be racing on this surface, on this track in 2026? Outdoors.
Wow, that's a crazy jump.
That was... that's like
Wow.
shoot for the moon. Yeah. Okay, if you want to, then you need to tell your federation that you want to go and race in RC Scylla, and they will vote on your behalf.
And we had some interesting feedback on the carpet indoor Euros for this category, didn't we?
We did. We had interesting is a good word. Yes.
And there's always the group of racers that say dirt
every time.
Dirt is that's all we should have.
Yeah. They're wrong, obviously.
And so this is an interesting one. I mean, it throws an interesting option into the mix, doesn't it? Because it's outdoor, but it is artificial grass.
You know what's interesting? You can have this, or you can have ferring. Like there could not be.
Yeah.
There could not be two more different tracks.
It's I think
the
it's
office of off-road with all the surfaces and all the jumps. Or you can have a consistent carpet or Astro track which is going to perform well in all weathers, because obviously we have to plan for rain, snow and sleet and all kinds of things.
I mean, it's unlikely, but yeah, we do have to plan for it these days.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is. I think it's fascinating that off-road allows you to have these multiple different, surfaces, and indoor, outdoor. How many different types of track surface do you have? We looked at one of the races earlier. The 40 plus host for next year has wooden stakes on the ground that you drive across as a big rumble strip. It's just I just wanted to point that out. It's just really fascinating that off-road allows you to even do that. It's really cool.
Absolutely.
Okay, so the next one that we're going to look at is Steyreg in Austria. I think it's how you pronounce that.
Okay.
Austria, is fairly, we know how to say it. I missed the joke, but anyway, so here's their proposal. So they have a crazy
golf course.
A very interesting track, and of course that one is in color. This is their on-road track, which is in black and white.
Okay,
so that's a separate type of cool, but we're looking at this for now. So yeah, very interesting. And here's their introduction. You can read all of this in detail. They founded in 1987, a group of enthusiastic model car drivers. I think we're all enthusiastic model car drivers. But, did we show it? Oh, no. There's Vienna. So directly
you
west.
can fly to Linz.
Did we? No, we flew into Vienna.
Yeah, Vienna, I think.
There's Wiener Neustadt.
Where's Graz then? Anyway.
Graz is further south.
Okay. So you're probably going to fly to Vienna.
Vienna or possibly somewhere. It could be Munich if it's close enough up the
Oh, Salzburg as well. But yeah, very well connected. So a lot of people will be able to drive, which is great.
Nice. Obviously, Austria is very popular because it is centrally located, literally in Europe. So it's very handy.
Borders many countries.
So again, outdoor AstroTurf.
Good.
They call it AstroTurf surf without filling.
What does that mean?
I don't know. I was just about to ask you. The grip conditions are considered from medium to high. The main straight is located on the opposite side of the rostrum. Several elevation changes, cambered, sweeping, and tight corners, several double jumps, a step-up jump, and the possibility of running different layouts for two-wheel drive and four-wheel drive. Very important for the EFRA rules because the track is supposed to be changed. So yes, my favorite thing, option lines. Love that.
Yeah.
And you can see it's, that's pretty crazy. So where is I can't tell from the shadow.
That's the driver's
stand. That's the main straight there. So yeah, that is the driver's stand there.
Yeah.
And I guess a sort of a pit area here. So.
Yeah, pit not quite so important in this class anyway. You just lay in the car down.
You just throw your car in the ground from the rostrum. That's what
they should have a jump off the rostrum into the action.
So there's the pit area.
That's a permanent pit. No doubt they would have an extra pit that they will erect maybe under a giant tent or something. But you can get there by car.
Alongside the B3, and there's a train with this 7-minute walk. I don't see any RC racers walking though. Maybe Hagberg because, well, he's not going to be there, but he runs. He's always running. Hagberg.
Oh, as in just running?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Like as to keep fit.
Yeah.
There's supermarkets, shops, gas stations, another view from the ground. And I think we have some video as well.
Yep. Should we have a look at the track in action? This is the... I'm going to say German Nationals or Austrian Nationals 2021.
Wow.
And I mean, the one thing you can say is it's a 10th track.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think anyone could accuse this of being, like a repurposed 8th track. It looks to me like, a purpose-built track and not boring. I mean, there's a lot going on. There is a lot
going on. I love how there's the marshals are in the little the pit areas.
Yeah.
Which obviously now this is an older video, so the marshal areas now are color coded sort of. That's pretty cool. It reminds me a lot of Robin Hood Raceway.
Yes. Yeah, you're right. And also surrounded by corn, so a little bit like Ferring in that sense. Yeah, there you go. So you can see the car park there, just on the other side of the permanent pit structure. Cool. So we have one more. Okay, cool.
More.
So
one more in this section.
That is Steyregg in Austria. So if you want to see or attend Austria in 2026, let your federation know. Like, you might think, what's the point? The point is, it's a democracy.
Let your voice be heard.
Let your voice be heard. You could make the difference.
Yeah, it's representational democracy or representative democracy. Right?
Yeah, so you need to get all of your mates together, and all of you need to go to your federation and say, please, can we race here? And then your federation rep will vote on your behalf in the section meeting at the EFRA AGM the first week of November. There's not much time. So it's happening, and it will be decided, and it will be too late, so get involved now. Like literally. Okay, there's one more.
One more to look at, and that is Trenčín in Slovakia. And as we all know, that is the Hudi Racing Arena.
There you go.
So there's a lot. They have a lot in their proposal.
Yes.
Lovely looking food, lovely tasting food, all the tracks. But we are going to scroll right past these and get down to the dirt indoor
What you can
track.
take away from all that, because that's obviously important.
That's the outside.
But that's all the other tracks. You know,
yes.
I think we all know the Hudi Arena at this point, and I think we all know that they have many tracks and have run many events over the years. This is the track in development. I'm surprised they've reused these photos because it looks very dusty. It's worlds apart from that now, but it looks a lot better now. In fact,
you see the good lighting as well when the sun starts to go down.
Yeah,
and even loads of natural lighting as well down the sides and the middle. Yeah, it's a really good facility.
And this is for the people that, you know, you want the best of both worlds. You want dirt, big jumps, and you want it to be indoors, not affected by the weather.
Yeah.
Then there's a no-brainer.
Which they have a whole slide for.
yeah, it's true. 360. I'm not sure if they open on Christmas Day, but 365 days a year you can rain unaffected by the weather, and then you've got loads of pit space.
Yeah, and those are even two-wheel drive buggies there. So yeah, tons and tons of pit space. Of course, these are on the on-road track sections, and then they do plenty. Oh, here's all the travel information. Quite easy to get to, really.
Again, it's not too far from Austria, so it's again fairly well centrally located for people to fly into. And when you get there you go, hotels, it's pretty cheap. Like, we've been there many times, stayed in the Hotel Elizabeth, which is a fantastic hotel and fairly reasonable. I don't think we have stayed there, actually. That looks way too fancy for us. But we have stayed in a couple of different hotels, and they've all been really reasonably priced. So
great pizzas as well.
It's not as expensive as you might think to go to. Maybe you've never been to Slovakia or somewhere that far away. It's not actually that expensive when you get there. And of course, they will no doubt be running factory tours. And that's something that you have to do.
I've yet to go on one.
Yeah, you have to do the factory tour. Loads of other stuff. Oh, let's go to a spa. Yeah, that'd be nice. Trenčín Castle, which you can see it from pretty much everywhere.
Right next to the big river that goes through the town.
Yeah, and that's the town square where that will be littered with people wearing sponsored hoodies and t-shirts, drinking beers and eating
t-shirts.
pizza during the event. Should the Hudi Arena, should the Hudi Arena get the event in 26? But yeah, that is just one of the many options. They've hosted events before in this indoor facility. Obviously, they've hosted many events in their facility, but in terms of off-road on this indoor track, they hosted the e-buggy European Championships in 2022. Maybe 21. I know Canas won. I know we weren't there. That's why it's hard for me to remember. But they also hosted the Worlds in this very class that we're talking. So
2019.
You want to race European Championships in the facility where the Worlds was decided. I think Rivkin won this particular event. But you want to race on a Worlds track. This is the one. Great facility. See that track is a lot different to those photos, which were very dusty. This is like hard packed, grippy, really nice action. I think people would be happy with this one, but it's not for me to say.
Yeah, it's for you to say.
It is for you to say.
Talk to your federation again and let them know what you think, where you think we should. Where you should be racing.
Where we think you should think that we would be racing.
Yes.
That's what we like to do.
Unwrap that one.
Let's just take a quick look at the summary again. So what is the... So
Fairing,
which is very experienced, does large scale, does Nitro 8th, and has done 10th before. Rockfair, which we've never been to, but we've had a look, and the facility looks really cool.
Obviously have held their own major races there.
They've also done large scale 1/8 on this track and are proposing to do 1/10.
And that one is very hard packed dirt outside.
Yeah.
Fairing is multi-surface, mostly dirt, a lot of brick.
Yeah, and then a whole different world if you want to go to Spain in Silla and get your kind of blue Astro world
experience. So that is outdoor, very, very flat, but with the jumps, the man-made jumps, for lack of a better term, artificial jumps they call them. Stay-reg, very similar, but more natural undulating terrain. Very undulating.
Yes, more similar to Robin Hood Raceway on the green Astro. And then Trenson, indoor dirt hardpack. So fantastic selection of choice.
A huge selection, really.
I don't think we're allowed to say which one we would choose, and I don't even know if I could decide if I was asked which one I would choose.
No.
Whether do I want to go to a completely new place I've never been to before, or do I want to be somewhere that I've been to lots of times? But one thing's for sure, it could be on Astro, it could be on dirt, it could be on multiple surfaces, it could be on a purpose-built 10th track, it could be on a track that's run large-scale Nitro 1/8 and 10th. There's a load of options, and you can't please everybody, but you can get involved and sway the decision on where it ends up being, where you want to race in 2026 or where you want to watch the Euros in 2026. Get involved, talk to your federation, and have them vote on your behalf first weekend in November.
Make your voice heard.
Yeah. Get involved. Don't just moan afterwards.
Yeah.
Let them know where you want to race. You've seen all the options.
Tell them now, as soon as you hear this or see any of these podcasts that we're doing about these locations, tell them now.
Tell them now.
Not the second week of November, because the decisions will already be made.
Yeah, then it's too late. Cool. Okay, that is 1/10 done.
Check out EFRA.ws for more info about RC motorsport in Europe.